limited the Jazz to just 17.5 first quarter points per game. What do you feel like you did effectively on defense as a team consistently through the series in the first quarter?
I think, guys really came out focused, knowing what the game plan was and executed that game plan. Everybody was on the string, starting these games out. And, I think the most important thing, though, was we imposed our will on the game, and we had the game at our pace. And to do that in the first quarter, you would say, oh, man, like they had the game at their pace offensively, but that also speeds them up as well, and that's not, the style that they really play. So I think the way we were playing offensively, pushing the ball in the first quarter, I think that also took a toll on them and, had an effect on their offense as well because it sped them up a little bit.
Kevin, what were your impressions of playing the Utah Jazz for the last 4 games?
Very impressed with this team. A lot of great talent. They're a deep team. One of the best defenders in the league at the rim in Gobert, and, Gordon Hayward, what he does. But I think down the line they have a deep team, a long athletic team, and really impressed. Great coaching staff, great arena. So it was fun to play against them. Definitely challenged us. It brought the best out of us all these 4 games, and definitely going to be a team that's going to be, contending for a few years.
Kareem Copeland, AP. Draymond, what have you been most impressed by from what you guys have been doing over these first 8 games of the playoffs?
I think we're just mostly impressed with, how we're playing our brand of basketball. I think every game throughout the course of this series, we really imposed our will on the other team, and that's big. In the playoffs, you let a team get in the groove, and it's hard to win games like that. And one game can lead to a team just getting in the complete groove and winning the series. So I think we've imposed our will all 8 games, and that's important on the offensive and defensive end. And if you can do that, with the talent that we have, with the experience that we have, it'll be tough to beat us.
Draymond, this morning you were talking about that you thought the Cleveland series was kind of boring, and I guess tonight on TNT the guys were complaining that your series was boring too, and that basketball playoffs are boring and these 2 dominant teams on a collision course. What do you think about that?
Blah, 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 blah. That's not boring. This team continued to fight. I think the way this team was fought, throughout this entire series, I think it was good basketball. They continued to execute their offense. They continued to compete on the defensive end. That was just my opinion. I don't expect everybody's opinion to be the same as mine. I think Cleveland's been playing great basketball. You watch them, it's been amazing. And then you watch other teams that they're playing against, not so much. So, that's just my opinion, though. But, whatever. Who cares?
You're not allowed to have an opinion, Draymond. You're just supposed to play basketball, all right?
True. Sorry.
To your left, guys. Kevin and Draymond, too, if you want to weigh in. But this team, it seems like you guys aren't afraid to talk to one another during timeouts, even in a demonstrative way. Kevin, even you and Steph at one point today. What does it say about this team that one MVP can...
We got chemistry issues. It's chemistry issues, man. Something going on with us.
I know it started on at the golf range too, but what I was gonna say, what does it say about this team that one MVP can talk to another MVP? It looks like emotions are high, but it doesn't hurt you. You guys actually, it seems to help you sometimes.
Well, we don't take it ourselves that seriously. It's basketball, man. It's we keep it on the basketball court. When Steph sees something, he tells me. When I see something, I tell him. Same with Draymond. Same with Andre, Clay. It's nothing personal. It's just, we're going out there and trying to handle business as a group. And if we got something that we need to talk over, we're going to talk it over. It's not about how we say it. Most of the time it's about the message. And, we just go out there and try to execute it. So, we're grown men. Sometimes the words are not going to be as pretty as you want them to be, or as you guys may want them to be. But for us, it's all about the message. It's all about the win at the end of the day. And I think, that helps us more than anything.
Samani Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area for either one of you guys. the narrative around you guys is always about the scoring and the shooting and so forth, but the defense in this
It's only one basketball.
yeah, the defense in this postseason, though, has been pretty incredible. Just wondered what you guys think of, and what has it taken to get to this defensive level? Because it's been good all season, but it's like you guys found another level in the postseason.
Want me to answer?
Sure.
Well, you got versatile defenders. You got, the best defender in the league who is, you can't really pick on him. Even though he's just, 6'4", 6'3", maybe. But playing a center position, you still can't pick on him. You can't throw the ball in the post and, expect to get a basket. You're not going to go at him in pick and rolls. He can switch out, and I think that's what starts our defensive intensity. All starts with him, and we kind of fall in line after that. We got guys like, Dre, Clay, myself, Matt, all the way down the line. Even when Steph switches off, he's really good, who can guard multiple positions. It takes a lot of teams out of their actions, and we score the ball, but we preach defense every single day. It's not just let's outscore our opponents. We're going to try to stop you, and then we're going to try to run the score up. But when you got so many guys that can defend and are smart, it makes for a good defense.
Draymond, last question over there. You talked about imposing your will on the other team. When obviously teams are going to go on runs, but when the Jazz are going on a run, cut it to 8-6 points, how do you flip that switch mentally to get your will imposed back on the game?
One thing about basketball, a team is going to go on a run at some point. And so it's just about staying the course and understanding we don't have to do anything spectacular to get back to where we were. And I think this team really understands that. We don't have guys coming out taking crazy shots, I got to go do it myself. We have the ultimate trust in each other. Like, hey, if another guy's open, I'm going to move the ball and get it to him, and he's going to knock the shot down. So I think that's the most important thing, is really just staying composed on the defensive and offensive end, knowing you don't have to make every single play. Because if you try to make every single play defensively, you can also hurt your team. And the same offensively, as we all know. So, really just keeping that composure, understanding that we can go on a run at any time. Just be who we are, and the game will flip back in our direction.
Great, thank you. Appreciate that.